Hello folks, this is the Trash Man here. Just for old time's sake, just had to do it. I had to do it. That was my old intro from a long time ago, and it's so bad. Anyway, I just realized we just hit 800 subscribers, and it doesn't take a super genius to say that's a lot of subscribers, man. That is a lot of them. Anyway, so we might actually have a chance to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. We have a big chance. If I keep grinding, if I keep doing what I'm doing, if I keep going, I can reach 1,000 by the end of the year. Which, it's a crazy thing to think about, man. It may seem like I have little time, but guess what? I have a lot of time. I have a lot of time to do things. It may not seem like it. It may not seem like it, but I will. I will get to that. I will get to that point, all right? I will. And you know what? I will not give up. I will not give up on it. I will not. I'm not going to back down to what anyone says. If anyone says anything, Trash, man, you're not going to make it. Guess what? I am going to make it. And I'll tell you why. I am going to make it. We are going to make it. We're going to make it as a community. We're going to make it to 1,000 subscribers as a community. Now I'm speaking like XQC. Okay, enough rambling. Anyway. Just wanted to do a little 800 sub special podcast. So let's just talk about some things. Sniper Wolf. That swine little bimb. She is absolutely a menace. She deserves to be taken off the platform. She's a creep. She's a stalker. She is in general a criminal. And YouTube gave her that SpongeBob jail treatment. Bro, they gave her, she was like, I stole content and I went to a guy's house. The cops are like, if you don't, come here, boy. Don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. Boop. Okay. Sentence over. They literally just gave her the slap on the wrist, the SpongeBob treatment right there. Yeah, dude, no, dude. Bro, YouTube has to be like, I'm imagining YouTube right now when they saw that their pretty girl Sniper Wolf was like, she went to someone's house and doxed him in front of 5 million people. We can't ban her. She's our top dog. We can't ban her. And guess what? They don't, because they're incels. That's what YouTube is right now. Bro, they legit are defending a stalker. A creep. All they gave her was that, you get temporary demonetization. You get temporary... Bro. You're demonetizing people for no reason on the platform for permanently. But you're not going to demonetize a creep and a stalker, a criminal stalker. You're not going to do that. You're not going to... Oh, jeez. And even then, you're a little... She's breaking the TOS again. She's really making you guys look dumb at headquarters here. Because, holy cow, let me just say, she is legitimately not even giving a care about the monetization stuff. Because she just made, she just went and made her way around the issue. She is going around the punishment, air quotes, that they made for her. Which is barely anything at all, mind you. So, who would have known a criminal doing criminal acts? It couldn't be me. Anyway, maybe you'll just say, hey, Papa Trashy, you're criminally insane. So, that's about the same thing. Maybe it is, but at least I'm not a criminal stalker. So, you can judge which one's worse. Yeah, no, that's the end of my thing on there. I really hate Sniper Wolf and her content. If you can even call that vile, repulsive, gurgitating piece of filth content. All she does is just pretend this is a bottle full of money. Granted, it's not, because I have no money. No. So these people made the money, right? These people made the money. You know, they're like, oh, cool, I have the money, and this is, and and it keeps going in because people keep throwing the money in, right? And this is, by the way, I'm explaining why React content is bad. So people are throwing the money in, but then someone like SSSniperwolf or XQC comes in, right? And they're like, oh, that's a lot of money coming in there. And they just start reaching in there, start pulling out the money. They're just like snatching it from the people's hands as they're trying to put it in. And then, and then people realize this, so less people go to the video. Even though some people give the argument that, oh, well, they're a big YouTuber, so more people will go and watch their thing. But let me just say something. They're stealing the algorithm of that video, and only 0.01% of people that watch the video are actually going to go into that person's video and watch that video and give that person ad revenue. Well, guess what? If they didn't make that video and say they got 5 million views, well, then that's 5 million people who would have, who could have saw the video and watched it. But guess what? She now steals the algorithm, and just every little bit of spotlight that video gets early on. And guess what happens to that video? The views, which they'd say would rise, actually go down because they're not organically growing. The 5 million people, probably only about say 100 to 200, maybe 1,000 of them will actually go to the channel, when you could have actually had potentially 5 million of those people potentially get that video, which would have probably reached 10,000 to 100,000, 50,000 extra views instead of just that measly 100 to 1,000 that they get because you reacted to the content and ruined their search terms in the algorithm. That is the big reason. And maybe I'm being dumb here. Maybe Viper will say that I'm dumb and maybe I got it wrong, but that's my analogy of it. And it's just scummy content. It's scummy content all the way down. I think that there are some fine React content, specifically for reacting to video games, in terms of say, you when they say, oh, X SEAL member Squadron reacts to Team Fortress 2 trailer and sees and checks out the guns and sees how accurate the guns are. That stuff I can tolerate because that's actual decent to good content. Music reviews. Obviously, if the music review is that slop they're making, then I don't support it. But there are some genuine music reviewers that I think are genuinely amazing, that actually review the the lyrical piece and every little nano angstrom of every note, thoroughly, and they grade on the song. And I think that is amazing. I really do. And I don't know. Okay, I could go on for hours and hours about just how garbage React content is, but okay, let's move on to a different subject. What's going on? Oh yeah, Nintendo. Oh boy, another Nintendo news. Let me just say something. I hate Nintendo. I love their games. I love quite a bit of their games, but them as a company making choices is probably the worst company of all time. Other than maybe Nexus trying to ruin Dark and Darker, because that was even worse. They are trying to ruin the Smash competitive community. If you haven't known, the Smash competitive community is basically a grassroots industry for Smash Bros. And they've struggled to really even do anything for 20 years because Nintendo always tries to interfere and ruin those things, and it sucks. Smash Bros. Melee is an amazing game. I don't really like Smash Ultimate all that much competitively, since I think it's kind of a mediocre competitively, but even still, I really do not support messing with the competitive community. Because what is it? They've been making these super strict changes where they're right now, just a few days ago, they're making changes you can't have an entry fee. You can't say, I don't know, sell food and drinks and water. That is maddening to me. There's much more to it. There's much more to it, but I'm not gonna go in depth. But it's just really scummy. I really hate Nintendo with how they do all this stuff, and I don't know. I really hope the worst for Nintendo, to be honest, in terms of just, I guess, the season, because they are just making so much scummy decisions. Anyway, yeah. 2, what else has been going on? Oh yeah, Spider-Man 2. I haven't played Spider-Man 2, but I've been hearing from a lot of friends that that game is amazing. I've heard from Mudahar, some ordinary gamers, that... Sorry, I got a frog in my throat here. I've heard from him that he says the game is... His problem, he has issues with the game in terms of... what was it? He said that it was just kind of just the first game, but it's only slightly improved, or just was a very safe sequel, which honestly maybe I could see. Granted, I haven't played the game, so I can't really form an opinion on it. So I don't know. I just want to talk about the basis of what he said. But yeah, he said that. Granted, I'm not gonna lie. There's not much you could change about a Spider-Man game, but I also do think that from what I've heard, there's only one section where you actually get to play as Venom, which sucks, man. Why can't you, like, can't it be like, I don't know, like Sonic Unleashed, where, you know, there's like a daytime and nighttime stuff, bro? That'd be sick. Like, in the daytime, you're a web-slinging Spider-Man, but then, like, give or take, like, say, you know, Venom at night, you turn him into Venom, and you start, and like, instead of spinning webs, you're like, you know, crawling on buildings, jumping off buildings, you know, tearing up buildings, and like, you know, stuff like that, and like, you know, having like extensive melee combat, like that stuff. Granted, Spider-Man's already got extensive melee combat, but like brutal, you know, type of stuff, you know, that would be cool. Granted, like I said, I can't say anything on it, but who cares? Anyway, there's not really much, honestly. There's not much been going on in terms of just anything interesting, other than the fact that I am in the play right now for the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And it's fun, but it's very tiring, and it's a lot of work. And I've been working hard for it. And I really hope that it turns out well, because I'm Aslan the lion. That's why I posted that weird video of me. That video was a nightmare. Yeah. But I really do think that it's been fun doing it, but it's just been so tiring and draining on my consistency with streams. I really want to be more consistent with it. But yeah. It's just been taking a lot of time, but it's been a fun fun endeavor that I really want to get more into. Granted, once I'm done with like the play and then done with a musical, then I'm going to be done with that in general, to be honest, for now. For the most part, unless in the future I get offered the roles that are paying. Because, you know, you do hundreds of hours. Granted, I've done hundreds of hours of YouTube streaming. Sorry about that. People are being annoying upstairs. Anyway, you know, I've done hundreds of hours of YouTube streaming, obviously, without, you know, but like that's different because YouTube streaming is just kind of, is it really hard work? I mean, granted, it does strain your mentality a lot. You need to be, you need to be into the zone. You need to be in with your audience, stuff like that. And, you know, that can be hard. You need to find a good way to still be happy about it and still feel satisfied with streaming. And that stuff is hard. And I will say that putting hundreds of hours into it over, you know, a past year is a very, very investuous decision that I've made. But doing stuff like acting is something that I feel like is much more noteworthy of getting paid for, if I'm going to be honest. Granted, obviously I'm not going to expect getting paid for a stupid role in a school musical. I'm talking about like I don't know, like some studio wants to get my voice in like an ad or something, or some studio wants to, like, I don't know, have me as like a minor character in a movie. Like, maybe I'll take like $10 or $100 or something. That'd be cool. I don't know. I like acting. It's fun, but it'd be cool to see. Like, I in the past I thought, oh man, it would be really cool for me to become an actor, but I just don't think that world's for me. Hollywood is one of the most corrupt places on earth, and I'm never going to set a foot in there. Hollywood is messed up, man. You do not want to go in Hollywood. I don't care what anyone says. Hollywood would probably be worse than me staying in my home here, you know. Granted, staying here in my home with like 15 serial killers and 14 druggies. That would probably... Staying here with 14 druggies and 14 serial killers would be a better endeavor than living in Hollywood. Hollywood, obviously, it's much more expensive, and you're just controlled by... every word you say is controlled. Everything you try to do is controlled, you know. Every public appearance you have is controlled. It actually might just be probably one of the worst things you could ever do with your life, because you know you can't say anything about it. You can't, I don't know, like you're forced to smile about it. You're not. I mean, and they'll, what is it? They'll if you become too into your own head, and all that stuff, then they'll kick you out of they'll blacklist you from Hollywood, stuff like that. And it's just a terrible place, man. I mean, from what I've heard, it smells bad. From what I've heard, the air conditioning's poor, stuff like that. And obviously it's a gambling place, so probably a lot of people who have gambling addictions, stuff like that. So it's just a place that I really think is never going to be for me. I will never go to Hollywood. It is, even if I had the chance to become a top list actor, I am never going to Hollywood. I just granted, not that I'd ever be one, because I don't think I have that that Nicolas Cage, or that or that Christian Bale type stuff, because obviously I'm nowhere near those guys. Those guys have decades and decades of experience. I'm just a random guy going in his room doing a couple plays, But I don't know. Just acting is cool. It's just risky. Don't rely on it. Granted, unless you've already made it. If you're an amazing voice actor in here, hey, all to you, man. Because hey, voice acting is awesome. I think it's really cool. But I don't think I could ever see myself being purely freelance. I think just going to college, getting something in like accounting, is just a much better decision for your life, especially in terms of just helping out the world. In terms of that, because at least with me getting, going to college for, say, accounting, then I don't know. Then at the very least I'm doing something that's gonna at the very least do some stuff, and it's just a much less risky venture than, oh, King Hamlet died because of brother Claudius. Just something stupid like that. Yeah, we're reading Hamlet right now, which is a required book for the America. It's actually a decent book. I think Shakespeare's pretty decent. I don't like Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet has to be probably his most overrated work ever, because bro, I just don't get how that one's become the face of his career, his entire life, bro. Because the thing is about Romeo and Juliet is that, like, they legitimately just yeah, but no, they legitimately just fall in love. What is it? They go to a party. They don't, like, the guy, what's his face, Romeo, sees Juliet. She doesn't see him. She goes back to her house, and in the middle of the night, this bro breaks into her window, knocks on her window in the middle of the night, and she's some reason enticed by it. It's like, why? Why? Just why? like I don't, bro. If someone who I didn't even see at a party just knocks on my window at the middle of the night, I'm gonna call security. I'm gonna call Secret Service. I'm gonna have the dude booted. He's probably a druggie. Yeah, no. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long, but as a podcast. But yeah, thanks for 800, guys, and I can't wait for 900 to 1,000. Have a great day.